Okay, guys, I think now is as good as any other time because I am as unprepared as pretty much always. But first thing, Happy New Year if that's something that much worth celebrating because I just thought about today when I was in a traffic jam that actually did quite down me because I was like a 50-minute drive from home and I need more than 2 hours. Yes, and then I got into some stupid thinking, and I thought, wait, well, what are humans actually celebrating? Because if anyone, then the world should celebrate that. I don't mean the humans, because what did the humans do? They achieved one more year without destroying the world. If anyone would have to celebrate something, then it's the Earth enduring humans one more year without getting destroyed. I think that's the way bigger achievement than what we do. Okay, some of us don't, but some of us definitely they. And for some reason, I seem a little bit underlit for some reason, even though I haven't changed anything about the light. But yeah, let's just go into the topics because they have been made quite a while ago and I have no idea what I wanted to talk about. But actually, before I'm going to talk about those, the first thing, my kind of goals and plans for 2016 and all that. I did a little bit talk about that already in my last video of the year, and this is actually the first one of 2016. And what are my goals? Actually, or what are my plans? So, what is definitely one of my plans, and I did do this for already the last few weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks now. This channel was always planned to be fun for me, and I want to be even more so fun and I want to translate that more over the screen, and that's why I will stick with those one take reviews because they seem definitely, a few people already told me they seem a lot more casual and they are way more fun for me to make because I don't have to kind of rehearse something, kind of memorize things, and I will talk about it. And if I make some language mistakes of speaking and that's doesn't care. That doesn't matter because I don't think the people who want the information they will care about that. That will be fine with them, or it will have to be fine with them, because I want to have fun, and it wasn't, not that it wasn't fun the last time, but doing it over and over again, and it always didn't feel as personal because if I do the one take, I know I can make a mistake, and I know I take because the videos take a little bit longer, and I seem way more relaxed, and I think that's what I want to translate over the video. So that's what I will do. Of course, what are the other plans? I definitely want to grow even more. So I'm close to 10k now, but saying that I want to have 20k by the end of the year now would be the wrong attitude, I think, because if I would have 20k, what's the purpose? Because my one of my goals is to get review devices more, actually more companies on board and more review units better in time, so not that delayed as I did this year. And I think 20k, for example, won't really change anything. If I have 10 or 20, I won't get a device like a month earlier. But I think therefore I would make to have a big jump, and I think some kind of there is a threshold, some certain point that you have to reach, and I don't think it's 10, 20, it's 30. I think it's at least 50 to get, at least in Germany. 50,000 in Germany is a lot more than it would be in the US, and that's the kind of thing that I have to do. And actually, this leads me to one topic that I will then cross off because I want to talk about it later. But what I noticed is, for example, I did last year, for example, I'm not quite sure about how many, but let's say 200 videos. And I gained, I think, like 7,000 subscribers. So the ratio of work I put in that seems like way too much, but I also have to admit one thing. There are, for example, YouTubers that make maybe like 30 videos or 50 videos, for example, and get 50,000 subscribers or a lot more views for the videos, but I have to agree with one thing. I put a lot less effort in my videos. I do them off the cuff. I prepare a lot in my head before I'm going to sleep or before I'm to make a review, and all the time I think about what I'm going to say. But it's not real preparation, at least not that I sit down, write some things down, at least not anymore, or think about what I'm saying. Even though I do a lot of reviewing stuff, because what I do is I get a lot of in depth into reviewing the device itself. That is more important for me. But what I see other reviewers doing, they put a lot more effort into their video itself to make the video as polished as possible, to say the proper things and all that. And I think that pays off because they maybe put in way more time in one video. Instead of making, for example, 10 videos, they make only 2 videos. But these 2 videos make maybe 20 times more than all of my 10 combined. So you always have to see the relation, and that is something very important for many YouTubers, what they should think of when they are going into YouTube. Are you a content slammer, like maybe I am, just getting stuff out with not maybe the highest quality, or do you really think about high quality stuff that gets a lot more views? And I'm pretty much doing it on purpose, kind of the content slamming, but because I want to have fun. If I would want to have more success, I definitely know this is not the way to go for, but enough of that, let's go into the topics. So, the first topic, Android simply isn't lag-free yet. And that is the one thing, because I still get so many comments of people saying, I have the LG G4 and what you said is wrong. You said it lags sometimes, what I do on every device. And he said there is no lag on his G4. Then there is another one saying that this device doesn't lag. And then there are about people I see. They say, I bought the newest flagship S6, Moto X Pure, and whatever you want to say. He bought it and it lags, so that's why he switched to Windows Phone, because Windows is known to be the least lagging one. Not saying the fastest one or smoothest one or overall best experience, but the kind of most lag-free one. But I think that has a lot to do with their odd smooth scrolling that I think covers up all those lags that would usually appear. And I still say one thing. Android isn't lag-free yet. It's still far away from that, but at the current situation where we are at with the current lag, it's definitely good enough that I don't really care. I have some occasional lag here and there and from time to time on all devices, but it's so rare these days and so marginal that it's not really worth talking about. But I still would never say it's lag-free, and I think pretty much, at least if I don't say it wrong in the video, I say it's as lag-free as possible. It's as pretty much as good as it can be. It's anything like that, but I'm never saying it's lag-free, because still, you can't tell me there is no lag on Android. And the people who don't see it, they don't see it. It's not that it's not there, they just don't see it, and that's the one thing to keep in mind. So, another one, I am biased against both. Maybe it's not me, though. That was in 2 videos the case, and I've gotten so many contradictory or in contradiction comments. For example, the Galaxy Tab S2 against the Apple iPad, and also the Sony Xperia Z3 against the Samsung Galaxy S6. 40% of the people say I am biased against Samsung. 40% of the people say I am biased against Apple. On the other video, 40%, let's for example, say I am biased against Samsung and I am biased against Sony. And this kind of makes no sense. How could I be biased against both products? Maybe, because it's always like this, I'm pretty sure. The Samsung fanboy says he's biased against Samsung, he's rooting for Apple. And the Apple fan says he's for Samsung against Apple. And then they always blame me I'm not objective enough. And even though I'm not saying I am in some ways super objective, I'm always saying if it goes to the display, if it goes to this is always my opinion, but my objective opinion, it's not a biased opinion. Or maybe it's a subjective opinion, but not a biased opinion. If I prefer one or the other screen, then it's for a certain reason, but it's not that, oh, it's a Samsung display, it must be better, or it's an iPad speaker, it must be better. It's just better because it is better, and I don't care which company it's from. And now, if those people would not see just my side or their side, maybe they would think, wait, if he's 40% biased against it and 40% biased for it, maybe he's not biased, but he's the one objective and you're the one biased, because I bet all my money on all the people who say, because what actually was really odd, the first month that I had the Sony Xperia Z3 video running, and the S6, I always assumed most people were complaining about that I was biased towards the Sony device, because in my opinion, the Sony was the overall winner at the end, in not all categories. But afterwards, and after a while, I noticed more and more people were complaining that I was favoring the Samsung and I was a Samsung fanboy. And I thought, wait, I always assumed then it could have maybe seemed like I would have favored the Z3, and now people all of a sudden say I favor the Samsung. This makes no sense. So it must be the biased people, and I think it's so stupid calling me biased, calling me too subjective, even though I never say I want to be objective, and not seeing that actually they are the total fanboys. That's it for that. The useless comment of the week. Wow, a gaming laptop but no gameplay. And this is what I actually already talked a little bit about, but I made a hands-on of the Dell Inspiron 7559 or something like that. Not quite sure actually about the number, but it's okay. I think it's 7559, yeah. And it was a hands-on video. And I said it a few times throughout the video. It's a hands-on first impressions video. I played with it a half an hour or so. This is just to see what it's about for the few first minutes. I will make a dedicated gaming review and I will make a review, so check out the channel if you want to see that. And then I see people like a month after that getting comments on it. For example, the one that I said, wow, a gaming laptop and no gameplay. Hey, there is a info card specifically pointing you towards the gaming review. Go cover that. So don't blame me that I didn't cover it. Like I said, I used the device for half an hour. How could I possibly have installed any games yet? So once again, it's the viewers' fault. And I don't want to be a dick towards the viewers here, because I know the ones who are watching this right now, they aren't the ones that are the ones. Or for example, another video on the Dell Alienware 15, I reviewed it. I made a hands-on video, and there was like a week apart between those. And the review is out for quite a while with the info card already in the video. And then I get a comment yesterday, I think it was, and saying, wow, from the first hands-on impressions, it doesn't look good. Blah, 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 blah. Like the boot time and so on. And I thought, why do you base your opinion still on my hands-on video if the review is already out a while? And I said back then that the issue, for example, with the hard drive got evened out after I got all the updates and all that, and then the boot time was fine again. So I think I will have to make it even clearer next time. If I do a hands-on, I will say, hey, this is a hands-on, maybe slap them in the face, say, it's a hands-on, it's not a review. And if you are watching this review or this hands-on, like, let's say 10 days after this video has been published, check the video cards if you don't see them. Check the description, check my channel. There is a review out there. There's pretty much never more of a delay, like 10 days between a hands-on and the review. And I okay, skip the hands-on, but watch the review and don't base your whole opinion of this device on the hands-on alone. I've seen this on all the hands-on videos I did so far, because on the G8 I did a quite positive hands-on video first because I got it and it seemed quite good on the first take. And this video has more than double the views of the review. And of course, the hands-on video gets way more positive comments. But if those people would actually see that there is a review that's not that positive anymore, they would think completely different. But I'm not quite sure how much more I could make it obvious. I say it's a hands-on, I say check the channel for the review and all that, and I put in an info card. But people, don't make it any harder to me, because I don't want to put out false claims. Because yes, sometimes if you would see the hands-on video, you would kind of get a wrong impression, because that's the first impression, and the first impression on a hardware, on a phone or a laptop isn't always true. So that's it. And that was the topic that I meant before. Many lazy videos equal pretty much few pro videos, but I've talked about that, so we can just skip that. And the last one is, what's that? Great video, and then question that is nothing to, yeah, that's a really small topic, but I get that so many times. If I do, for example, a comparison or a review of one device, and then just for example it was like a comparison between the MacBook Pro and the, I think it was Dell Latitude 4550, and then he says, great comparison. Hey, what about these two devices? Which one? And these are two completely separate devices, not even quite the same form factor. And then I think, what are you asking me? What has this to do with my comparison? I compared two completely different devices, and you are asking me about two completely different ones, which I should choose. I kind of get it if I make, for example, a phone review and someone asks me then, which phone should I get? That's at least not comparing two things and asking for something completely different, because they maybe consider this phone. I still get way too many off-topic comments, which I don't want to complain about, because it's okay. As if I can help, I'm okay with helping. But don't say me this video is good and ask something completely different. If it's at least something to do with the topic, then it's okay. And actually this video is shorter because I have done all my topics. It's just 50 minutes long. A small little update. The PC that you can see, it's here on the side. It's still on the desk. Today I got out, and that is when I went into the traffic jam. I just wanted to buy a board, like a wooden board with 4 feet to attach, and then have it under the desk. And yeah, this whole tour took me 3 hours and pissed me off quite a lot. But what else? I wish you a nice 2016, definitely, even though maybe I am not the one who celebrates a new year. Like I said already, not quite sure what, but it's definitely gonna be a very interesting year. I hope it will get even more so successful, and I wish you all the most successful, all the few smaller YouTubers like Emmanuel from Geekception or Jason M from JM Tech Space. I wish them all the best to grow quite rapidly. I want to do the same, and as Emmanuel already said, he in one comment where he made a video for 2016, his wishes and his predictions and all that, and I commented on it, wishing him all the best luck for his. He said, "Come on, let's own 2016," and I think it wasn't "come on," but let's own 2016, and this is something that's stuck in my head, and so that will be kind of, at least for the first few months, kind of the approach. Let's own 2016. And it doesn't have to mean like in a successful way, but let's own it. Let's have fun with you together, with the channel, with the ramblings, with the rants, even though I don't just do rants, even though I am a little bit of a more negative person, and I agree with that, I admit that. So because I get very, especially on Twitter, I get many comments saying that I like your rants, and I thought, yeah, I don't do many rants, but okay, some of my normal topics could seem as rants as well, so I totally get that. So I would like to say I would want to work on being more positive, but that wouldn't be me anymore. If I am more positive, I will be more positive, but I am just, as of a habit, a little bit of a negative guy, searching more for the bad stuff. Not quite sure why that just came with over time. But yes, all the best for me. All the best to you. And I hope we can grow together even more so. And I guess it's a win-win. If I grow, you have something from that as well, because I get the devices earlier, I hope, so I get more devices, and the content will be more versatile, is that true? More various or something like that. Definitely, yeah. And I am, like, for example, the last 2 or 3 minutes, I have no clue what to say anymore, and I'm dragging this even further. So I'm not saying it once again, but yeah, I wish you all the best, and have a nice day, have a nice weekend, and have a nice start in 2016 together. Okay, bye.